Good morning and happy Monday. Wishing you all an amazing day. Post Kansas City killing it yesterday in the game, in the playoffs, and looking forward to the Super Bowl. And you know what? The Super Bowl brings up a lot of things. The Super Bowl brings up expenses, sponsors, credit cards, a whole bunch of good things. But that's not what we're talking about. As happy as I am for Kansas City, go Chiefs. We're going to talk today about an article that I saw. I saw an article that spoke about the top 6 debit card or the top 6 banks that have debit cards for children. And I thought to myself, now there's a topic I want to talk to single parents about, because the whole idea of a debit card versus a credit card, one, it's kind of silly because you can have both. But two, I wanted to do kind of a deep dive into a debit card versus a credit card and look at that as a model for financial freedom and building wealth. So, I am Sonia Gallion-Comanica. My website is soniagallion-comanica.com, and I'm the author of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent. And I talk about all things single parents and especially finance. And I also help you with business financing if you have a business. We've got some really great products out there. And my ultimate goal is to make kids safe by educating their parents. I was a single parent, and I love teaching things I myself did not know. And many of the things I discuss are things that are in my book. So please get a copy of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent. And let's do a deep dive in. Get your coffee, get your tea, enjoy, like, subscribe to the channel, and join me in this discussion this week on debit card versus credit card. Yes, you can have both, but they definitely have some distinctive differences. A debit card versus a credit card. Number one, this is going to be the 10 things I want to talk to you about. And in many parts of the country, it's a little cool right now, so I have the opportunity to be out in the sunshine. So I am out in the sunshine doing this video with you, and hopefully the whole week I will be out in the sunshine in various states and just discussing these topics with you. So number one, a debit card, it basically is all about you. It's how much do I have in the account? Can I afford it? Do I have enough? It literally is, everything's about you. Has nothing to do with anybody else. You're not even thinking about, can I give to a charity or somebody else? You're just going, oh, how much do I have in my bank account? Or when you put it in set up a children's account, it's okay, a few dollars here, $5 there. It's a totally different animal. Number two, a debit card is an alternative to using cash. Well, that's a whole other discussion. You know, they say a debit card is an alternative to using cash, but the reality is when you use any form of electronic payment, you always spend more than if you had cash, because with cash, you know how much is in your pocket. But with the debit or credit, you're like, oh, maybe I can squeeze out a few more dollars. And also, number three, a debit card doesn't practice financial, it doesn't teach you financial independence. It definitely is not teaching your children that. It's teaching you, okay, I have a few dollars left over, so I'm putting it in my children's bank account. It's not really a systematic plan. It's just sort of, I'm taking this and putting it in an account. It has no real strategy to it. Number four, a debit card has a lot of risks. Hackers love when you use debit cards. In fact, one day I went into a Walmart and I was using the ATM and I put it in and somebody actually hacked my debit card. It's the craziest thing. You're thinking, not at a Walmart, but they actually hacked the ATM. Thankfully, the bank caught it, but you can be out of money very quickly with the right hacker, and if you don't catch it in time, it could be tragic. So debit cards have some serious risks that go along with it. Number five, debit card, if it's lost, it prevents you from access to your money. I mean, you can even sometimes get your card and your account seized, like we saw in the Wendy Williams situation, because the bank is concerned there's fraud or something else going on. I've literally had a bank send money back. Even if there's money in the bank account, if they think it's fraud, they just send it right back. Many times with the credit card, they will say to you, did you make this purchase, before they take any action. With a debit card, it's a totally different beast. And you have to be super careful because the banks really control that product. And they control the credit cards too, but on a different way and on a different level. So if it's lost or stolen, you're kind of out of luck. You got to report it. I've had my bag stolen with all my cards in it and everything, and that's a really scary thing. Number 6, a debit card can be frozen by the bank, as I mentioned earlier with Wendy Williams. It can be frozen. and they suspect fraud, something's going on. It's really crazy. And if you have projects or something you're trying to take care of, you maybe have a crew, you're taking care of employees, and you need that maybe to make a payment or something, that's going to be really challenging if your asset, your bank account debit card is frozen. So things to think about when you're thinking of using a debit card. Number 7, a debit card, it's a tool essentially for the poor. I hate to say that. It really keeps you in that poor mindset of, okay, I only have so much, so this is what I'm going to give away. This is what I'm going to do. It doesn't keep you thinking, okay, how do I generate more? How do I make more? It's a matter of, I don't have it, so I can't give it. It doesn't give you the freedom and flexibility that you need. What if you have an opportunity that comes up and you don't have it on your debit card, but you do have it on your credit card? What are you going to do? No, I'm not going to take advantage of it. That's kind of silly, isn't it? Number 8, debit card prevents you from being generous, believe it or not, because you're always thinking, I don't have enough based on what's in my account. Or sometimes even when people have it, they can become the Scrooge and not want to spend it. So, there's a lot of things that go into having a debit card and that kind of poor mindset. And we're going to talk about the difference between the debit card and the rich, and the credit card, the debit card with the poor and the credit card with the rich a little bit later. But it's exciting to go through this with you. Number 8, debit cards prevent, like I said, they prevent generosity. Number 9, a debit is limited by your daily balance, which is silly because there's other ways to manage that. So whatever you have in your bank account is what you're willing to give. So you're going to limit yourself to opportunities because you only have so much in your bank account. I mean, sometimes just moving the money from one bank account to the next can be a challenge. Have you ever tried to do that? One time we tried to pay for something with a bank account. The bank, with the money in the account, the bank wouldn't allow. We had to call up, adjust the limit, move things around, waste time. I mean, you can miss so many opportunities just by using a debit card, because if the bank doesn't know what's going on, they're suddenly suspecting fraud. Next thing you know, you've just missed an opportunity. So you want to be very careful. And like I said, it's limited by you also have a limit on your daily balance. So if you have $50,000 in your bank account and the bank says you're only allowed to take out $15,000, then that's all you can take out until you adjust it. And the reason why they do that is because the banks are lending out money based on your daily deposits and the money in those accounts. So it really has nothing to do with them necessarily protecting you. It has more to do with them protecting their own interests. So keep that in mind when you're using a debit card. And also, a debit card limits your choices. Choices for what? Like I said, if you have a big purchase, a great opportunity right now, and you want to pay for something, and the bank is not sure what you're doing, they might restrict you from making that payment. So now you're trying to fiddle around and trying to find a check or something else, and the next thing you know, you just missed an opportunity. So really think about the process of what you're doing with your life, because it's very challenging with a debit card, especially if you're building a business, you've got opportunities, you really got to get out on a limb and try something a little different. So I'm going to just reiterate what they are again. Debit card versus credit card. Number 1, debit card is all about you. Number 2, debit card is an alternative to using cash. Number 3, a debit card doesn't teach financial independence. Number 4, a debit card has a lot of risks. Hackers love debit cards. Number 5, a debit card, if lost, prevents you from having access to your money. Number 6, a debit card can be frozen by the bank. Number 7, a debit card is a tool of the poor. It really keeps you in that sort of poor mindset. Number 8, debit cards prevent generosity. It's really all about you. Number 9, a debit card is limited by your daily balance, what the bank is allowing you to withdraw. And then number 10, debit limits your choices. So please think about these things. We're going to dive right into the credit card next. And I'm so happy to be with all of you. Sonia Gallion-Comunica, SoniaGallionComunica.com, and the author of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent, where we talk about all things single parents. And I really like to teach you about finances. I am a national sales manager with Mom and Pop Business Funding, and I love teaching you the things I did not know as a single parent. Have an amazing day. Subscribe to the channel, and the next thing is going to be credit cards.